Composers. Yes, YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about limitations. How can you work when you only have a few tools at your disposal as a composer? We need lots of things. We need plugins, we need great DAWs, we need great instruments, beautiful pianos or guitars, or do we? We need a warm beverage.
Later.
There we go. So what do we do when we face a challenge where we only have a few tools at our disposal? I recently did a challenge with the Production Music Academy run by Stevie B, my friend, who we also do the Make Music Income podcast. The challenge was to only use sounds from your DAW. Now, luckily, my DAW is Logic, and so there's a lot of things that I can do there. And as you saw in the opening piece, I'm doing something pretty simplistic, just an A minor. So A minor, G, F, pretty simplistic. I was going for something rather sparse, and you'll see why as the arrangement that I have kind of starts very, very sparse. And then it grows and grows and grows and grows, knowing that when I was going to do this challenge that I wanted to use the strings and things that were in Logic because I knew they had improved and I wanted to work with them, and we're going to talk about what's happened with those. And you're going to see the arrangement in Logic, so we'll talk about that in a moment. About the only change that I do on this song is kind of like a little B section or just second part of this little melody that goes into D minor. Goes into kind of a D minor and then a C and then kind of a G over B thing. So that's really the tune. There's not much more to it. The rest of the tune is in the arrangement and what I could use Logic for. And that's where the fun begins with this. So with another warm beverage sip, let's go to the computer. All right. Hello, composer. So here we are now on the Logic session. And as you'll see, the very first thing at the top is called Parallel Earth. And what I did with Parallel Earth was to just use a piano from Logic. Now, the pianos from Logic, I would not suggest for piano features or things where the pianos are the main deal. However, in this song, I knew I had simplistic chords. I knew I was going for something pretty simple and also kind of a felt type piano. And so with pianos like some of these pianos in Logic, pianos like you will find in Complete, where like Noir and things like that, they will have good felt pianos and things like that, but not necessarily rock and roll or pop pianos that you're going to find. And I think that's kind of the same with Logic. But I did find this sound. I may have downloaded it because you can see there's several I haven't downloaded here. And I may have downloaded it and put it in here. But anyway, it's called Parallel Earth Piano, and it kind of sounds like this. Kind of some effects on it. You can hear it's very, very soft. In fact, it's so soft that I had to bring in this electric piano just to kind of give it some body, you know. And then the next things that you'll see here on this session from here to down to here are really a combination of effects and drum machine sounds that I wanted to have that kind of go along with it. One that was really a kind of a trailer type of sound, kind of, you know, that kind of thing. And then this other little thing that I had, which you can see I just used the trail of, it was just from the Logic Drum Machine Designer or electronic drum kit here. As you heard, I've got the harp going on with a lot of effects on it. And then to add to the harp with the same part later on, I brought in this gentle sine bells from the Alchemy, which is like a omnisphere light. It's great. And So I like to use that a lot. So it's kind of a high echo of the harps, and then a couple of things for some drum machine type sounds right here. Just to give it kind of an electric sound. Then pretty much everything else from here all the way down to the bottom is orchestration, and violins, cellos, basses, violas. And if you see different versions of these, it's because I was using different articulations. And this is the thing that really blew me away in Logic by using these strings, which is what I had planned to do with this arrangement, was really to focus on the orchestration and kind of get into all the violins and strings and things like that, and horns, and look at these articulations. And boy, am I glad I did, because look at this. All of these for almost every single instrument, whether you choose violins, violins too, violas, cellos, double basses, and these ensembles. And so I was really impressed by that. In fact, the cellos, one of the things that I used in the cellos, the first articulation I used was this scoop slow, and it's really kind of end up making the piece a little bit, because it sounds like this. You know, so that kind of ended up being a little calling card of this whole piece. And then the other thing that was really helpful was the tremolos that I used at the end on all of these strings, which kind of bring the whole thing to a fever pitch at the end. And I was even able to, you can see how I faded out the real string, the sustained strings, and brought in the tremolos for each of these. So it kind of like made it seem like the players were playing and then slowly going to tremolo. So that kind of worked out cool. Down here I have the timpani, and I kind of used a tremolo with a crescendo. So it brings it to a head like that. And so by using, sometimes you have to combine sounds to really get what you're looking for. And so it's not just one sound that you're going to find. I used my old standby for a suspended cymbal, which is this orchestral kit from Logic. It's a orchestral percussion kit. And it's nothing special, but it works in most occasions. And people in Logic, if you are looking for a good suspended cymbal and you're not finding it as a standalone sound, it's B flat 2, I think, or B flat 3 that you'll find in the orchestral kit in Logic, just a stock sound. Then I used in this little B section at the end some trombones, which by themselves sound kind of blatty if you listen to them. By themselves, they don't sound that great, but when you mix them with this orchestral ensemble with different horns, which is what I'm talking about, sometimes just mixing the sounds together really will bring things out. And then I used the French horns for this melody over the top. And then I used the clarinets to kind of provide a little bit of meat to that. Just like to thicken that up a little bit and add some more woodwinds in. And then I have some flutes. Kind of a counter melody there. So that pretty much is everything. I'm going to turn my camera off now and just let you enjoy From a Parallel Earth, the song that was so unceremoniously lost in email from my good friend Stevie B, who did not find this in time for his video taping of his challenge of using sounds just from your DAW, but I 100% forgive him, and I held nothing against him as far as he knows. All right, here it goes From a Parallel Earth. I hope you enjoy. So I hope you see that you're never really limited when you really focus in on your tools. You could just have a piano and do a lot of things. Use it for percussion and use it for the notes, of course, and play the strings and do different things. We're never really limited. One challenge I suggested to Steve is why not just a challenge with no instruments, with just sounds that you can make with your body, with your mouth, with your hands, whatever. And so that might be a challenge sometimes too. And that should further prove that we really don't have that many limitations when we're creating music. Make sure you watch this video where I talk about modes.
That was a stupid one. Modes. Ha!
Well, anyway, go watch it. It's right here. Thanks for watching.